Hello beautiful Disney family. I'm Mikala from the Aussie Disney family, and today we're going to do a Mickey ear tutorial. So my inspiration for this came from this beautiful little clay. This little girl holding a sunflower. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And I thought I want to make a pair of Minnie ears to suit that. So because it was only a picture in my head, I had to think, how am I going to do this? So I've made one ear, and then I'll show you guys how to make the other side, and we'll put it all together. Okay, so this is one ear, which has a pretty felt petals. So that'll be one side. Okay, and I've got what we need to make the bow. Yeah. Okay, so let's go over what you will need for this project. So I have a template for the bow. This is cut out on a clear plastic. So you can download free templates on the internet, trace them onto clear plastic, and then you can make as many bows as you like. So this one is the smaller inner bow, the larger outer bow, and then the back of the bow. This little one wraps around the middle to hold it all together. So I've already traced and cut out the pieces for my bow. So I've used a blue background. Now this one's actually like a glittery foam, rather than the pleather. This one is a pretty sunflower pattern. Now this one's in two pieces. I normally would not cut it in two separate pieces. The reason why I did is this is the piece here. Now you can see on the back, I put the two pieces of the bow together. So you flip it over, and then you trace the other side, and then ideally cut it out as one. The reason I didn't do that is because it was too long to go this way, so I put it this way. But then when you flip it over and look, the lines of the sunflowers weren't running the way I wanted. So I wanted them going this way across the bow. If I had to cut it out like this, they would have been running this way on the bow. So it's personal preference. Like you might have preferred them to run this way, in which case you'd cut it all in one. But because I'm difficult, I did it this way. But it's all fine because then I'll just glue them together in the middle. And then I used a sparkly, chunky glitter for the smaller inner bow. And then I've also got that last strip that I showed you in the chunky gold glitter. So basically what it will look like, I'll move this out of the way. Put these together, and then this one. Fold, fold. Now you'll glue that together. I might do that first. So I've got to see where you can see what I'm doing. So I use a low temp glue gun because if anyone is going to burn their fingers on hot glue, it is going to be me. There we go. So just let that sit for a second. So with this bow, it's got two different sides. So that one shows a little bit of the backing, or you can place the bow this way and you don't see that. So this is actually the way that I prefer for this bow. So we'll sit that there to keep drying. Okay, so we'll bring this forward. I just glued my table. Well done. sticking that down. So long as the bow doesn't stick to the table, we will be all good. Sticking that down. Normally I wouldn't stick these layers together. I would just put this bit around to hold them in place. But because they're cut, I want that bit more stability to make sure that one half of this bow is not going to slip out and fall. And then this one will go over the top. And this will go around. So just check, because I want this bit ideally to finish at the back. So I've just got to, oh gosh, it's hard to show you what I'm doing. Move this around a little bit. There we go. And then hot glue. That out. And then that goes into place. And I got hot glue on my fingers. Well done. Yes, that is Ella in the background laughing at me. Hi. Can't see her.
I just walked in and see Mum burning herself.
Just as a total coincidence, Ella is wearing yellow, so
I guess he's going to be a little model after this.
I'm assuming she wants to steal my bow.
Assuming or no?
Yeah, I know. I'll brush all this out of the way. Okay, so now pop that down. We've got our beautiful girl. So rather than just gluing her straight on, because I think that's very unlikely to stick, I'm going to get some of my yellow from the petals. Now for my petals, I've chosen 2 colors. So they're just different shades of yellow. And that just gives that little bit of depth to here. So it's not a huge difference. And in fact, on the screen, I can see that it's even harder to see than it is in real life. But you can see that's darker and this is a bit lighter. There we go. So with a little bit of this, I'll go the lighter yellow because it's a closer match. But as you can see, it's not a true match. But we just need a little rectangle. Just because the felt is very fibrous. And so it really helps to make things stick. I've probably gone too big. But there we go. I can stick it across the back of her. Actually, I might just stick it to the bow. Make that a little bit shorter. I'm making this up as I go along, so we'll see how we go. So I'm going to make sure I get the glue all the way to the edges so that this will stick quite securely. Okay, now I'm going to add more glue to the front. This big strong dollop. Now I'd normally use a craft glue because it would be a little bit better for sticking. But because I want to be able to put this on at the end of the video, I've decided to use hot glue. So I was just holding her just in place to help her stick. Oh, there we go. Isn't she beautiful? Okay, so that is the bow done. Really, really simple. It's just a matter of tracing that template onto your material and then cutting it out. So we'll do a little demo.
A little half demo.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea of how she's starting to look. So that's cute. So you could have gone a lighter yellow to match more with the bow and with her flower. But I find if colours are too the same, it starts to be a bit wishy-washy and look too much the same. So I actually like that these are a different color to the inner bow. And of course I love that this bow has sparkle to it. Okay, so let's move on to making these.
Nothing is better than fingers.
Okay, so now I've got a foam board. It has adhesive on the back, which you don't need, but that's just how it happens to come. So I got this from Bunnings. Okay, so we'll lay it down here. Now for the ears, very high tech, I traced a cup. So all you do is place it on here. Now I'm using a metallic gold pen because that will show up on the black. Okay, so all you have to do is just trace around, staying close to the edge of the cup. There you go, there's one. And we need one for the back side of the ear. There we go. Beautiful. Now it's just a matter of cutting these out. I won't make you watch me cut both out. And I must say this foam is not the easiest to cut. A little tip with circles. Oh, if I get through this. Can you tell this is my first how-to video? So you can just see that outline there. When I'm cutting a circle, I don't turn my scissors. I keep my scissors straight and just close slowly, and I actually just turn the foam. And that helps to get a very smooth line. Open, can you see? So not to teach anyone how to cut, but I have found that turning whatever it is that you're cutting is a good way.
Just in case you want a little bit more of a cleaner line.
Yeah, just keeps it smoother. But everyone's different. You might have a way that works better for you. Here we go. Just following that line around. There we go. And we have one Mickey ear. Now, to get the perfect cut, so that it'll sit on the band of your ear, all you do is you place it approximately where you want it to sit on the headband. So I think it would be about there. You can, even if you've already made one, stick the other one on. Say, oh yep, that's where I want it. I can never stick these on straight. Always ends up a bit wonky. Okay, and then you can either press down, which will leave an indent, or you can trace it while the ear is there. You just cut that out. There we go. Then that will sit beautifully against your headband. Okay, magic. I've cut out the other one. So now if we just sit these two together, make sure that it's all square. Then you can just trace across here. And I can't really see that. I'll flip it over this way. Trace across here. That's better. And then there we go. We have the front and back of our ears. There we go. Kind of looks like an Oreo at the moment. Okay, so the next step is to get our brown. Here we have our brown felt. So this will wrap around like this onto the ear. Okay, so you want to have a bit of overhang on all sides so that it will reach to the back. Okay. Move that this way a little bit. Yes, it still reaches this way. Yes, it'll reach this way. I'll just hold that in place. And then just cut across. It doesn't have to be very exact, as you can see. Might just cut these pointy bits, oh, can you see? Pointy bits off. Okay. Now, because these are sticky, I'll just pull this off. Place this here. Make sure it's in the center again. And then just fold little bit by little bit the felt so that it sticks onto the back. If you don't have foam that's got an adhesive back, you would just use some hot glue. There we go. Down this way and then across the bottom.
It's a very sticky process.
It is. So there we go. So we have the middle of our sunflower. Then you just repeat that process for the back of the ear. Okay, so now that we magically have two halves, we can start to work on the petals. So with these, I just made a template and made one, and then I just traced it onto the yellow felt. Now again, I use the gold pen because it doesn't really stand out. So if you don't cut it exactly to line, no one is ever going to notice or see it. If you use something like a felt pen, the line can bleed and you'll always see little bits on your edges of the pen. So this is a good way to go. And then also just in the planning stage, it's figuring out how big to make your petals. So you need to allow enough that when it's stuck here at the back, you have enough petals showing. And there we go. So I've just got a couple more to cut out. So I believe it takes about 7 petals per side. And you don't want to make, the reason why I said about, if you don't quite follow the lines is, it's nice to not have completely identical petals. That way it gives it a bit more of a natural look. And so a lot of these, the petals bend in the same direction because they are indeed the same petal. But when you're applying them, actually I'll pop that down and I'll show you. You can have them facing different ways. Oh, here's a good example. So this one's facing this way. So that's the front of the petal, say, and this is the back of the petal. Exact same petal, just laid down in different ways. And that adds to the naturalness of the look. Even though really it doesn't look very natural at all. Here we go. Second last one. And last one. Now this was going to be where it ended, just with the petals. Oh, here we go. I'll show you this. If when you're cutting, might have seen I did that deliberately, but if you get an edge like this, just smooth it out because petals don't have corners. There we go. And then it looks more petally. So here I've got my little pile of petals. I've got my 2 halves. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Then when I was in Spotlight, I saw this. And I thought, gee, wouldn't that look like the inside of the flower? So here we have it here. I thought that's a nice touch just to add a bit of interest. So you don't have to add that bit. I initially wasn't planning on it, but when I saw it, I thought that would be perfect for this. Okay. So all you do is you pop it here and just measure. Doesn't have to be exact. Run it around the outside because you can trim it later once it's glued. There we go. And then our second ear. Running it around the outside. Might just move one pom-pom over. Snip. There we go. So that's everything that we need to make this flower. Okay. So flipping this over, move the dark petals to the side. Here we go. So just adding, oh wow, that's steaming. My low temperature glue gun doesn't seem very low temperature. Yep, no, that is very hot. I can attest. Just placing.
Maybe I should be doing this.
Maybe. Just placing the petals
I'm more
around.
likely to burn myself.
Actually, thinking about it now, I probably should have done the buttons around the outside first. Well done, me. It's okay. I'm just going to pop these as far around as the glue that I've. Might flip this one this way. Okay. There we go. So that is at the moment. Okay. So I'm just going to run a bit of glue around this outside. Go. And then just place this and just push it against the glue.
You could even use like craft glue for this, but
You can.
that's only if you have a lot of time on your hands.
Which, if you're not making a video, you jolly well could have.
Yeah.
And add a little bit more. So just work in little sections.
Because otherwise the glue will harden and...
Yeah, then it won't stick. So, yes, you can do this after you've started putting petals on. So it's no biggie. Everything in craft can be fixed. A bit more. There's no right or wrong ways. And you don't have to be particularly crafty. A lot of people say, oh, I'm not good at craft. I'm not a crafty person. Well, you don't really need to be, I don't think. Things don't have to be perfect. The joy comes from creating. And anything that you do, you get better with over time.
Wise words.
There we go. And there's that satisfaction when you make it. Even if it's not the best thing on the planet, you made it, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's go back to gluing some more petals on.
Just press pause on that whole thing.
Don't worry that my glue gun is so hot. Okay. Does actually look like I might be a couple of petals short. Which again is not a big thing. I think I'm one petal short. Ella stole my glue gun. Give it back.
I didn't want her to burn the table.
better the table than you.
I'm gonna
Here we go.
burn myself.
So yeah, I do want one more petal. So I'm just going to pause for a minute and make one more petal. And we're back. Okay, so a little bit more glue here. Popping our last petal on. Now remembering this is where it sits against the headband, so you don't want any petals sticking out this way. So I've got a little bit of an overlap there, which is completely fine. Okay, now for our second row of petals. So for these, you want them to come sticking out between your first layer, like so. And then the next one, and then you work your way around. You could find at the end, because I've got quite a bit of overlap here. So you could end it there, or you could cut the petal in half and put half a petal there if you wanted. So again, it's just a matter and I'm just going to change the angle that this one's stuck on a little bit, just so that he goes through there. There we go. And the next one. You just need to make sure that these are far enough in that when you place this over the top, that the ends will be covered. There we go. Okay, I might, because this is a little bit boring for you. Might stop it there. I'll continue working round and then we'll show the next step. Okay, so now we have the double layers of petals, and I have gone ahead and put the pretty little trim around the edge of the ear, and then it's just a matter of gluing it into place. So we'll just, lots of glue. I need another stick. You gotta go quick so that where you've started doesn't start to go hard. What are you doing? And then I just put a whole heap here. Okay. Here we go. Try and line it up. Pressing down.
Try and line it up super quickly.
Yeah. So there we go. That does line up. Luckily. And there we have our complete sunflower. This is so hard to film. Okay, so let's take a look. So we've got, also, so we want to flip this one over so that we have the light color on top with the darker color on the back. So that gives a perception of depth. And that work out. Then we have our beautiful girl there, and of course on the headband. Yay, this really isn't the best angle to show. Okay, I'll flip this round. So one thing to remember when you're sticking your ears on is that, okay, they're starting here. When you open it to put your head in, it moves them closer. So a lot of people will stick them, say, here, and go, oh, that looks great, forgetting that when it opens, they then are too close together. So I'm going to try. Okay, let's try and sit this straight. And then work out from there where these will go. And then checking open, yeah, that's still good. Does that look straight? Ella, I'll ask you, because we all know I'm crooked.
Well, I'm looking at it from an angle. Yeah, just bring that one down a little bit. There you go. Now it's straight.
Okay, so now it's straight. Lucky I asked Ella, because I'll guarantee, left to my own devices, it would have been crooked.
I'm pretty crooked as well, so I could be very wrong.
So I'll just tilt this up, zigzag some hot glue over here.
A lot of hot glue.
A lot of hot glue. I'd really like it to stick. And I'm just going to hold it for a second. You can see it literally is pretty much just a second. Line this up again. Hopefully that is correct.
No, you put it a bit too far down. Okay.
See, told you I'm crooked. Here we go. Tilt this one up. Put lots of hot glue. And the felt really helps this to stick. Now I have covered a plain white headband in black fabric. And I will show you in another tutorial how to cover your headbands.
Just in case you have the wrong color that you don't want.
Yeah.
Or you just want a pretty pattern.
So, can we see? I might have to tilt it up in a minute for this. Well, there is no backwards really, but yay! Okay, so now I'll set these down again and we'll attach the bow. So you can't attach the bow to the ears because that would be really easy, wouldn't it? Just stick to there and there and you're done. And the reason why you can't is, as before, because these will move. So you need to attach this bottom bit here to your bow. Now with the pleather, that is quite hard to do. So I just get a little strip of felt once again. Normally I would use black, but I think I'll use yellow in this case.
Leather? No, what's it called again?
Pleather.
No, this.
Oh, felt.
Felt is very good for sticking things together.
It is, because it's so furry.
I forgot what it was called for a minute, which was a bit sad.
Here we go. So just fold that over. So this is just going to make a little stage. We'll call it a stage for the bow to sit on.
Because it is famous.
Well, it just holds it up a little bit off the... Okay. So because with the pleather it's a little bit firm, it just will sit under here to make it easier to stick. So here we go. I'll add some glue. Thanks, Elle.
You're welcome.
To the bottom of the bow.
Don't mind my shaky hands.
Grab our little stage. Just stick that there. Again, give that a second to sit. Okay, a bit more, well, a lot more glue. Okay, and here's the tricky part. Just pushing that until it sticks on there. So again, I'm just going to hold it into place.
There you go, guys. You don't have to deal with my shaky hands anymore.
Okay. Just check that that is centered. Does not look particularly. Okay. just a minute, guys. Okay, guys, we finished. Because I was trying to hold it so you guys could see, I couldn't see. So I put the bow on a bit crooked. So I had just to move it a little bit to the side. And now for the big reveal, we have Ella. Yay, and there they are, all finished.
So they're super cute because, like, oh, yeah, move, Mom.
Yeah, just push me out of the way.
Because you've got, like, the flower, then you got the little girl holding the flower, so it's super cute. And it's really good if you're, like, wearing yellow.
Yeah. Is it coincidence that Ella put on yellow knowing I was making yellow ears today? I don't think so.
It was. I just saw a shirt and I went, oh, I'll wear that.
So I think somebody's going to steal my ears. But I think I'll let her because they look so gorgeous on her. Oh, I love them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It has been my first attempt at trying to film a video and like of what I'm doing. It's very hard to try and show that, but hopefully you got the idea. Hopefully this is something that you go, gosh, I'm inspired. I want to make my own creation. We have our own email address, aussiedisneyfamily@outlook.com, and if you guys do make some, oh my goodness, we would love to see them. So yeah, here we are. These are my ears.
These are my ears.
Which she did try and steal these too, but I think she now prefers these ones.
But she still has ears that were actually meant for me, which she has to make.
Yes, I'm making ice cream ears for Ella.
Because I love ice cream.
Yeah. So if you like this video, give a thumbs up, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to those lovely ones of you who are already subscribed. Being a part of our family.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that you think, gee, you went too fast through that, or I'd like to see more detail, or oh my God, would she just move on? I know how to cut a circle. Just let me know. If it's not that nice, maybe put it in an email rather than in the comments section. Let's keep the comments happy.
Yeah.
But we hope you've enjoyed making these ears along with us, and we hope to see you next time. Stay safe.
Bye.
Ella's gone, so I just wanted to try the ears on me. No, go away, Ella. Yes. Ah. Bye-bye, ears.